Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria on the PESI team. I'm glad to be with you. I'm here for a chat with the extraordinary Dr. Leanne Campbell. Leanne, we're so excited that you're going to be with us this coming Tuesday, September 3rd, for a free full day training in transforming trauma with emotionally focused individual therapy, or EFIT. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So let's give folks a little bit of a sneak peek about what they're going to learn next week. I want to start by asking you to share with us what's the benefit of learning EFIT for therapists who might already have an approach that they're comfortable with for
Mhm.
trauma.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think three key benefits come to mind. One is the attachment frame, the way of joining with clients, our way of making sense of their symptom picture in a non pathologizing way. Our attachment science provides us with a map to all of our individual fears, vulnerabilities, longings, and we can look past some of the overlaying symptoms, such as I feel in a fog, I feel alone and lonely, I feel I don't know who I am, and begin to use that map to get at what is driving all of this below the surface. So I think the attachment frame is key. I think the way that we work with emotion is very effective. And again, we have a clear and tried and true set of interventions that we've been using for years with couples, and that has been empirically tested. And we use that same set of interventions in our work with individuals in a way that allows us to titrate the process, work within clients' window of tolerance, but at their leading edge of discovery and exploration, the key to growth. And finally, I think we have a clear and accessible roadmap for how we work with shame, which of course is so common among our clients who present with histories of trauma.
That's great. I'm hearing you talk about non pathologizing, and it almost sounds like there's a deeper level of work than just focusing on the symptoms, which people do feel pathologized by. Um, so that sounds great.
Yeah,
Um, what
that, that's a great point, Victoria. Sorry to interrupt there, but I love what you just said. And something we talk about and we'll talk about on Tuesday is that that's right. We want to move beyond symptom reduction. The key goal of EFIT is to move clients into a felt sense of security with themselves and others, and help them to move into this organic growth process that we believe we all have the capacity for. So that's right. It is beyond symptom reduction. And when we join with our clients, we look beyond diagnosis as some of the core underlying features that keep our clients stuck. And the goal is to help our clients and ourselves identify those stuck points and move with and through them once again to kickstart this organic growth process. So thank you for highlighting that. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost sounds like clients could have their attachment style become secure as a result of working in EFIT.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're moving toward. Actually, in fact, whether we're working with individuals, couples, or families, the attachment view of health is a felt sense of security, and that allows our clients to use their internal worlds as a compass for life.
Must be very rewarding to
Yeah,
practice EFIT. Yeah. Okay, I have a lot of more questions, so let me get to the next question. What's
sure.
unique about EFIT?
Well, I think one of the things that is unique about EFIT is it's a member of this family. It's a multimodal approach that allows us to work across modalities.
Mm,
I think it's unique in that it's highly experiential, and we join with our clients in a way that allows us to be sensitively attuned, and again, that non-pathologizing approach allows us to see our clients and some of the core features that are common to individuals with histories of trauma. For example, their views of themselves, their view of others, their capacity to trust, and their capacity to move with and through emotion and use it as a compass for life, which is what we would describe as effective affect regulation and is connected to secure attachment. But of course, for so many of our clients who've endured trauma, they've had to learn to either shut down emotion, reactively intensify, or some mixed combination that creates distance from themselves and their capacity to trust and to engage with key others who might provide a felt sense of security. So commonly we hear our clients say, I don't know who I am. I have this perfect partner. He says he loves me, but I can't believe him. I can't take it in. So that's exactly what we're working toward. Getting to the heart of the matter, we would say, in it, not just symptoms, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Leanne, we've heard you and our dear late developer, Dr. Sue Johnson, talk about the EFIT tango as a kind of roadmap for therapy. Can you give us an overview? What does it look like?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the tango is a 5-move sequence of interventions that we use in each and every session. And it's not intended to be mechanical. Again, it's an experiential, emotionally focused model. It's based on our client's capacity and the importance of carefully pacing the process. So in move 1 of the tango, move 1 of the 5 moves, we help our clients to make sense of their felt experience in the world. That it's often, oftentimes our clients have come to us with diagnoses or with some kind of label. And we want to, again, look below the surface at how do our clients move in the world emotionally and relationally? And how does that impact the symptom picture and create this self-perpetuating cycle that leaves our clients stuck? So we put up a mirror for them in a way that helps them to feel seen and heard and begin to see and know themselves in new ways. In move 2 of the tango, we help them to order their emotion and then deepen that. And in move 3 of the tango, we choreograph engaged encounters. So once our clients are able to move into what Bowlby would describe as frightening, alien, and unacceptable emotion, it's a relational model. We want them to pass that to a key other, a safe other, to then be able to process that. Were they able to take it in? And if not, we again reflect and process that. We might say, I hear you. There's a part of you. There's a part of you that was moved by, it could be a spiritual figure. It might be an adult, older, wiser other. It might be a key attachment figure like a grandmother or whatever the case may be. And then we process that. And commonly, in the initial stage of therapy, stage 1 of the 3-stage process, it's hard for our clients to take it in. It's a process. And so we reflect that. And then in move 5 of the tango, we summarize what just happened. Do you see what you just did? When you took the risk of staying still with you and tuning into your internal experience, a place that you haven't occupied, that was never safe to occupy as a little girl or as a little boy or as a child, whatever the case may be. The thing that you were able to do is to share that with your grandmother. And for a moment, for a split second, you let her eyes touch yours. Do you see what just happened? And so that consolidates and integrates the shift in each and every session as well. And so we think about the tango as what the therapist does to move the client through the 3-stage process. And as we move our clients forward, their capacity to stay still with themselves, gain access to themselves, and their experience broadens and widens in a way that allows us to ultimately restructure self and system in stage 2 of the model. And then in stage 3, we consolidate all of the therapeutic gains. And of course, we also tune into the capacity for aggravation of symptoms in the context of anniversaries, for example, or re-exposure to trauma with first responders, for instance.
That is a roadmap. There's stages and steps, and it sounds very clear. It sounds like the therapist really gets to have the scaffolding of a model to lean into while they're doing their work.
Exactly.
I think you ended up inadvertently answering this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Some therapists might be hesitant to help their clients revisit trauma memories because they're afraid of increasing their client's symptoms or of causing some type of destabilization. But with
Yeah.
EFIT, you go there. How do you modulate? Yeah, how do you modulate therapy so that clients aren't overwhelmed?
Yeah, it's such a great question, and it's so critically important. So we always want to work within our clients' window of tolerance in a way that's at their leading edge, as I was describing earlier. So pacing is critical. At the outset of therapy, we focus on creating what we would describe as a safe haven alliance where we're a surrogate attachment figure. And for some of our clients, that might have been the first such connection that they've had in the world. And we also tune into our clients' strengths and their resources. And we pay attention to that with regard to what's happening within session. So, for example, the grandmother that might be a key resource, an ally in the process, and what's happening outside of session. Are our clients continually being exposed to trauma or discrimination or whatever the case may be? And we titrate, once again, we titrate the process accordingly. And on Tuesday, I will show some of our work, and this will become clearer. But our goal, once again, change occurs in that move 3 of the tango. That's where shifts occur. And we always want to set up these engaged encounters with key others who can be safe attachment figures. So we can think about tuning in with our clients at the outset of therapy and really paying attention to key pivotal experiences that have likely shaped attachment, shaped view of self and other, and affect regulation strategy and capacity. And we bookmark those. We don't necessarily go into them because, again, the client might not be ready. And so one of the ways that we titrate the process is to ask questions that are more open-ended to focus the session. For example, when you look back on the landscape of your life, what do you see? What do you see when you see you? And then that's a point of entry potentially. And then, for example, if the client goes into a scene where there might have been abuse or trauma, the goal is to emotion links self and experience. So the goal is to use memory not as a means to an end, but instead to evoke emotion. And the key goal is a corrective emotional experience to help our clients move into the emotion that was unsafe to feel, intolerable to feel, unacceptable to feel in the context of a safe other, a safe relationship. So, of course, that's the therapist, but it could also be other people that we've established earlier on, for example, the grandmother. And then we amplify and highlight that aspect of the scene, of the memory, and we dim the lights on the perpetrator or on the threat because we don't want, of course, we don't want, just as in other models, and we talk about it a lot, of course, the goal is to ensure that we're not re-traumatizing our clients. So we use memory as a venue to experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not to habituate someone to a memory. It's not to understand what happened, maybe from a different perspective. It's to go right to the heart of it, right to the emotional experience and the attachment pieces.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's such a clear explanation of how you pace things and how EFIT is unique too. What would you say, Leanne, is the therapist's role in EFIT? If people
Yeah.
are learning this method, what can they sort of expect their job to be?
Right. Good question. Well, one of the key roles of the therapist is to be this quote surrogate attachment figure, to join with our clients in a way that really allows them to feel seen and heard in their current context, in their historical personal context, in their relational context, their intergenerational context, and not as experts from a distance, but as guests in their home almost. And again, that helps us to pace the process It helps our clients to establish a sense of trust, potentially for the first time. And as I think we often think of ourselves as guides and collaborators in this growth process. We have a map. Attachment science provides us with a map, as we said earlier, and we help guide our clients into a felt sense of security, secure attachment, the attachment view of health.
It must be so cool to watch people make such significant changes. I mean, there's such tremendous gifts to being a therapist and getting to watch people transform. It's fantastic.
It's true. And the other thing that I would say is that we're not prescriptive. So, for example, sometimes when we join with our clients and they share some of their stories, it can be very, of course, heart-wrenching for the therapist. But we trust and believe and know with confidence that if we can bring our clients home to themselves, they can renegotiate and navigate those relationships, even with people who have betrayed them or abandoned them in the past. We leave that up to the client. We bring them home to themselves and to their inner emotional worlds, and know that they can be their best guide in that final stage of the process.
That's really beautiful to frame it that way. We're bringing clients home to themselves. Awesome. Which maybe answers my last question for you, Leanne. What kind of outcomes are you seeing with clients when you use EFIT?
Well, anecdotally, so rewarding and so incredibly moving. And, oftentimes we say when we grow our clients, so too do we grow. But beyond that, we have lots of studies in the context of couple therapy that help us to know that our interventions are tried and true. The key change events have been established. We have outcome and process studies, and we have completed all the data collection some weeks ago now. For the first EFIT study, that's a multi-site study, 2 sites in Canada and 1 in the United States, where we worked with clients, a number of different therapists, of course, who have been trained in EFIT, and we are beginning to analyze those data with promising results, and some papers have been submitted, some published, so stay tuned, more to come on that as it specifically applies to EFIT.
That's so exciting, and that's so much work. I'm so grateful that you've engaged that so we can really know for sure how well this model works.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Leanne, for giving us a bit of a taste of what we have in store for us to learn next week. Everyone, hopefully you'll join us on this coming Tuesday, September 3rd. I believe we're at 9 Central as our start time for a free full day of training in using EFIT for trauma. Thank you so much, Leanne, for being here.
Thank you. Looking forward to